statement about last weekend?
Yeah, it was I thought it was a good weekend to get on the road after being home for a long time. And so it's fun to travel to Duluth. The results of the games I thought looked similar on paper. Friday, we just weren't prepared to play. We weren't ready to play. I thought Saturday we were in a much better space, but the scores looked the same. But as we look at it as coaches, we can find some of the things that we're starting to kind of solidify and be better at. So that's what we take out of the weekend. Equal part disappointment and frustration because I thought we were in a better space, but at the same time looking forward to what we can learn. So, and going into this week, it's been a long stretch to start the season, and we've got a Thursday game. The Hall of Fame game is just an awesome opportunity to be invited to that, and so I'm just so grateful for this opportunity for our program. And then we get a weekend off after that, so it'll be welcomed, and I'm sure Mankato probably feels the same way.
A few questions from Ryan Stieg. You touched on it a bit, but as you said, it's been a long stretch of tough opponents. How's the locker room doing right now? And then how are you feeling heading into this weekend?
Yeah, the locker room I think is probably feeling the same way I am, and just continually tired of the same disappointment in terms of seeing results, and yet feeling optimistic because we feel like we're moving in the right direction. And I think that's a healthy tension that exists, and it could be from the result of the game, or it could be from people figuring out where they're playing and what line and what role and responsibility. So we all go through that, as a part of the journey of a season. And I think we're just kind of in some of the tough times right now, but those times can prove dividends, or provide dividends down the road.
And then first you had Hockey Day Minnesota down in Mankato, and now meeting Mankato again at the Hall of Fame game. What does competing in these events mean for your program?
Oh, it's a huge honor, and it's a huge privilege to be invited to play in the Hockey Hall of Fame game. Doug Johnson does just such a great job of organizing the event, and we know it's going to be a special thing. And as I look at the history of the game, and I've been fortunate to be around several of them, the community involvement is the key piece of it. And so it's going to be fantastic to see the Osseo Maple Grove hockey community come together. And the fact that we're playing Mankato again is kind of irrelevant. I know both John Harrington and myself and our staffs are just so excited to get out in front of the community, and takes you back to when you were the little kid on the pond, and then you got to go to the big rink for the first time and watch a game, and then you got to play in a game, and that's just that's how hockey gets promoted, and that's why Minnesota really is kind of leading the nation in terms of how to provide an experience that develops hockey players.
Is there any drawback this week to not having a traditional bye instead of just playing one game? Is there any negative?
Yeah, I think, we talked about it last week with our team. Hey, we're at next week would be a bye, but now we get to play. And so sometimes you get into a bye week and you don't even know what to do for practice. You're trying to maybe play a 3-on-3 scrimmage, kind of competition, because you want your players to keep training. It's not like a bye week in February, which doesn't really exist, but when you might need a physical break. We don't need a physical break. We might need a mental break, but I really believe that can be accomplished by playing on a Thursday and say, let's dial in for 3 days of practice, play on a Thursday, enjoy it, and a cool experience, and then get a weekend off. I think that's just as meaningful as players trying to look to a bye week as saying, what are we going to do today and how am I going to get skated? Because nobody wants that. So.
Yeah, and then playing Mankato without the pressure of it being a WCHA game, is that an advantage?
I think it feels like a WCHA game to me and our team, just because they're in our league. So the fact that it won't count in the standings is irrelevant to us. I think it's an opponent that over the course of time we're familiar with, and they're familiar with us. And so to me, it feels like another league matchup, and even though it doesn't quote unquote matter within the league standings.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.